Hi, folks. Welcome to episode 127 of the Wealth on Any Income podcast. This is where we talk about money tips, techniques, attitudes, information, and provide inspiration around your business and your money. I'm your host, Rennie Gabriel. In past episodes, we spoke about how to understand the numbers from your business, how to measure the level of pleasure based on where you spend your money, how to track your money in 5 to 10 seconds, what determines how close you are to complete financial choice, and how to run your business without being in your business. And last week, we had Fred Diamond, who has a focus on elevating women sales professionals in large corporations. He has an award-winning podcast on sales and wrote a book to help the family members of someone who is suffering from Lyme disease, as his wife is. Today, we have as our guest, Sarah St. John. Sarah is an entrepreneur, podcaster also, online course creator, and author. She has created several startups throughout her entrepreneurial career of over a decade. She currently owns a podcast production agency called Podseam. She's also the podcast host of Frugalpreneur, Building a Business on a Bootstrapped Budget, which is what I thought would be a great fit for the show. It aims to show people how to launch and manage an online business on a budget. Sarah, welcome to the Wealth on Any Income podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Terrific. Well, let's get right to it with some questions. And the first one is, okay, got an idea of what you're doing, but tell me more about maybe why you do what you do.
Mm-hmm. So basically, I had 6 different jobs back in 2008, not at the same time, but throughout the course of the year, and realized that I wanted to work for myself. And so I started with a photography business, but it was getting expensive to maintain equipment and all that stuff. So I decided to go into an online business model, but wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I tried everything that I could think of: blogging, affiliate marketing, drop shipping. And it was in that process that I discovered like all these free or affordable tools, resources, and software that people can use to run an online business on a budget. So I got the idea to write a book called Frugalpreneur, kind of talking about the different types of online business models and how to run them on a budget. And then I got the idea to launch a podcast, also called Frugalpreneur, to coincide with the book. It was just supposed to be an extra marketing avenue, basically, but I was getting more leverage and traction with the podcast. So I've kept that going, and almost 4 years now, almost 200 episodes. Now I'm all in on podcasting, helping people launch, manage, and market their podcasts. But yeah, it took over a decade of kind of trying a whole bunch of things to get to that point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Almost all of the people I talk to who are entrepreneurs for some reason or another got into the business they're in because of their own personal experience with something. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if it's a health issue or a business issue, or a financial issue. Like for me, that's how I've seen it working. Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this, because you're probably aware I donate 100% of the profits from the work I do, the books, the courses and stuff, to various animal and veteran charities. Tell me about a cause that's important to you that you support.
Oh, I think those are very good ones. I definitely support any kind of animal one. One here locally is called, I'm in the Dallas area. It's called DFW Pug Rescue. I've had a couple of pugs. And so that's as far as animals go. Really, anything that has to do with like disaster relief as well, or like.
You also mentioned when we first connected about sponsoring a child with a thing called Compassion International.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Yeah. So the Compassion International, there's another one called World Vision and a few others where it's like you pay, I think it's only like 30 or 5 or 40 bucks a month. And it basically pays for them to go to school, their supplies, sometimes even clothing and food in, third world countries, yes. Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Educating women who are the backbone of every family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell me who your target market folks are. Who are you primarily wanting to be working with?
So it's kind of two things. As far as my podcast goes with Frugalpreneur, it's basically anyone who is either thinking about or has launched an online business and has a tight budget and they're trying to bootstrap it, and just helping them figure out what tools and resources and software to use to make that happen. And then on the other side would be anything on the podcasting side as far as helping people launch, manage, market, monetize their podcasts. So two different areas there.
Yeah, and I was going to say about a podcast, monetizing it is a very important aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And well, okay, getting back to what was going on in 2008, tell me what your biggest failure was. It could be business or personal, and what insight you gained from that. And I think I've heard that from the standpoint of, oh, I found all these free tools. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess a couple things. One was the shiny object syndrome and trying everything. And then another was, just trying to figure out how to do it on a budget. So I was always researching different resources and software. And I usually would go with something that's free up to a certain point and then, only upgrade one and if I have to. So I guess that was, I didn't find that as much of a challenge because I was able to figure out the different software platforms to use to run my business. But I think it's probably a challenge for a lot of people. So I'm kind of doing all the work for them and researching these different software so they don't have to spend the time and money figuring it out. But yeah, the shiny object syndrome, I think, is a big one for all entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And then if you're focusing on 10% of your time and money on 10 different things versus 100% on one thing, it just, I learned the hard way on that one.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. But so give me an example or case study of someone who's come to you, whatever their situation was, what you provided for them, and what the outcome was for that business owner or entrepreneur.
Yeah, so a lot of times, and it's not even necessarily someone coming directly to me, it's more like I notice something on maybe someone's website or someone's social media or something about, I notice that they're using the most expensive software they could use on a particular thing, whether it's an email marketing platform, whatever it is, sales funnel software, whatever, and just basically letting them know what alternatives there are that are either free or much cheaper. So just helping people save money, because the more money you save, the less money you have to make, if that makes sense. You're not
makes complete sense.
Not that you should want to make less money, but you get my point.
Yeah.
So
you spend less, you have more.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Is there something I should have asked you that I didn't ask you that would give some great value to my listeners?
Oh, let's see. Are a lot of your listeners thinking about starting an online business or a side hustle?
They're already in an online business. They're entrepreneurs. They're business people. They're professionals. As an example, I'm one of the people who used Infusionsoft, also known as Confusionsoft, which was like using a shotgun to kill a fly. Mm-hmm. And anyway, the point being, I've learned some of those lessons, and it certainly would have been better for me to have spoken to you early on, but I didn't know you then.
Yeah. So, I have a few recommendations on different software that's either free or affordable that might be helpful. For email marketing, I use SendFox, which, especially for someone who's a podcaster or a YouTuber or a blogger, this, first of all, it's free up to, I think, 1,000 subscribers. But you can also connect your RSS feed or your YouTube channel, and it'll automatically create newsletters and send them out with your latest blog, podcast, YouTube video. So that's what I use for that. As far as sales funnels and landing pages and all that. There's a lot of big names out there that are expensive, but I use Systeme.io, Systeme.io. And they have a free plan, and then the next plan is only like $27. I started on the free plan. Now I'm on the $27 a month. It's one of the few things I pay for. But you can create landing pages, sales funnels, courses, memberships, community, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to think what else on website.
That's good. Tell you what, let's do two things. If people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to do it and to learn more about the kind of work that you do? And if you email to me a couple of those things, I'll be sure to put them in the show notes so people can just click on those links and they have that information besides being able to get back to you.
Yeah, exactly. So my main website is thesarahstjohn.com. That's Sarah with an H and then STJOHN. And then I'm on social media everywhere at the Sarah St. John. The podcast, the direct link to the podcast is frugal.show. And you can contact me through there as well. And then my company, which I'm actually in the middle of changing the name and the domain for, but I'm going to have a redirect for it. So you can go to Podseam, PODSEAM.com if you're looking to start a podcast.
Perfect. Okay. Well, Sarah, I want to thank you for being on the show and contributing value to my listeners.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. If anyone listening would like to know how books, movies, and society programs you to be poor and what the cure is, then log on to wealthonanyincome.com/TEDx. You'll hear my TEDx talk and can request a free 9-step roadmap to complete financial choice and philanthropy and an explanation of each of those steps, plus a weekly email with tips, techniques, or inspiration around your business or your money. And if you'd like to see how you can increase your wealth and donate to the causes that touch your heart, please check out our affordable program, Wealth with Purpose, on the Wealth on Any Income website. Next week, we're going to have Dove Gordon, the creative leader of the best mastermind group I've ever participated in. You'll not want to miss that episode. To my listeners, thank you for tuning in. You can listen to the Wealth on Any Income podcast on your favorite platform, and please rate, review, and subscribe. Until next week, be prosperous. Bye-bye for now.